Hello, everybody. Just gonna wait a few minutes for everybody to come in. We'll play the waiting room for a moment. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Update on Travis Decker. Let me just see who I got in the house. Don't have very many people in here talking, but welcome in. It's good to have everybody. I'm waiting to see if one of my moderators can grab a link. Let me check on that real quick. Big O in the house. Beverly, lawyer in the house. Sincerely, Katie. Hello, everybody. Very spur of the moment live, as there's some information that recently came out about Travis Decker. This is what we have learned. Community alert, area of, what is this? Ingalls Creek and Valley High. Law enforcement is searching for suspect Travis Decker in the area of Ingalls Creek and Valley High, as he is believed to potentially be in the area. Please secure your homes and vehicles. Stay alert and report any suspicious activity to 911. Residents and visitors will see a visible increase in law enforcement presence tonight as a precaution. Your safety remains top priority. If you see something, say something. I also saw some of this information. Let me see. Some of this information from Trevor Lee. He's another advocate for children. At this moment, law enforcement is searching for suspect Travis Decker in the area of Ingalls Creek and Valley High in Chelan County, Washington. He is believed to potentially be in this area. Please secure your home and vehicles. Stay alert and report any suspicious activity. Please call 911. So that is what we are currently looking at. And then there is another update as far as that the federal government has taken over the manhunt for Travis Decker. Let me get that put up here. And then I got some more information on some tracking that we found. Actually, Sarah Suspicious, my moderator, found. I don't know why I don't have. Okay. Let me just look real quick here. Gonna share my screen. Let's just play this real quick.
Well, authorities are continuing to use helicopters as well as search dogs in their search for Decker, today appearing to search the areas near Skycomish and also near the enchantments.
Everybody's just stunned. This doesn't happen in this area.
As the manhunt for Travis Decker stretches into another week, the Rock Island campground and surrounding areas which have been closed during the search are now back open, though still eerily quiet and much emptier than normal.
So everyone's on heightened alert and wondering if we should really go outside into the backcountry. That's where I usually am.
Locals are keeping their eyes out for Travis Decker, who authorities believe murdered his 3 young daughters, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia, sometime Friday after picking them up for a scheduled visit. Autopsy results reveal the girls were suffocated. Decker hasn't been seen in over a week.
It's kind of scary, you know. They must have some idea that he could still be here.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of nerve-wracking.
But authorities have found Decker's dog, which has been turned over to the Humane Society. Items from Decker's truck recovered at the campground are being processed for DNA and fingerprints. Officials say blood samples from the crime scene have come back as male blood. Another sample found was not human blood. Authorities continuing their search for Decker using resources including air support from surrounding counties and the state.
I have seen what I believe is National Guard out today with a helicopter taking a look around in the enchantments, it looks like, and that's always heartening to see that the search is still on.
And authorities continue to ask residents in the surrounding areas to keep on checking their surveillance cameras for any signs of Decker and, of course, to report it immediately. Reporting live in Leavenworth, Leanne Wynn.
So the blood that we know is on the bed of that truck, they took some of the blood as evidence to test it. Some of that blood was a man's blood and some of it was not human. So I'm assuming an animal of some sort. So, could this have been from his dog? Could this blood evidence have been, from an animal maybe he got a hold of or something that he wanted to take with him? Sarah Suspicious is here. Thank you, love, for all of the information you and I have been sharing back and forth. Was some of that blood this non-human blood? Did he kill some kind of animal to maybe take with him up into the mountains? Yeah, I don't know. Let me see if I can send that invite. Let me see. I really want to. Sarah Suspicious wanted to come in, and I'm trying to get her a link. So hold on 1 second. Why I try to do this one more time. I don't know why the link isn't wanting to work. And unfortunately, I'm such a computer dinosaur, I can't even figure out how to put it in my chat. Ugh, aggravating. Need to learn some things. You. All right. I'm texting it to you again, Sarah. Let me know. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, this is a huge, huge manhunt going on right now. And Brandy and Indy, good to see you. Witchy Mama see something, say something. In my opinion, I love that so much. So this is something that I have to share that Sarah found, and I will try to explain what it is. Yeah, as I show it. So here on my screen, you're going to see a few different videos. Okay, I'm going to try to blow this one up. Let's make sure. Oh, no. That is not what I wanted to do. Hold on. This is where I want to be. Here we go. Switch over for me on the screen. Yes, it did. So I'm just going to go back to the messages that I received from Sarah about this. So in where this is being posted, this post is from public. So it's like, it's on some kind of scanner. And so there was 4 planes and 1 chopper doing grid searches. All planes left. The chopper left. Right then, a life flight came and landed in an open spot above the Enchanted Pass. It sat for not even 15 minutes. Then I tracked it. This is the person that posted this up. Then I tracked it to Wenatchee Hospital. The scanner said body recovery after it reached the hospital. So that's the only way that I can explain it. They're saying that other aircrafts that were searching all day left. Then Life Flight came and left, recovered and rescued a body, and then search aircrafts never returned afterwards. This was like around 8 o'clock, you guys. And right after the update from the sheriff's office that I just shared with you about him possibly being in that area is when all this happened. So this is one of those. And then I'm just bouncing around here on my Facebook because it was the only way I could share as quickly. This is another one. Isn't this crazy? I mean, look at all the planes, and all the planes from that area were just pretty much told, like, you got to leave the area. Let me get back over to my main screen with you guys. So this is another aircraft. So again, this was all happening just shortly after. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Just shortly after that last thing got sent out by the sheriff's office. This is a location here. Oh my God, could it possibly be that Travis Decker was taken life flight to a hospital in Wenatchee? It came out right after this came out. area of Ingalls Creek and Valley High. Law enforcement is searching for suspect Travis Decker in the area of Ingalls Creek and Valley High. As he is believed to potentially be in this area, please secure your homes and vehicles. I'm going to try over here real quick. Let's see if we can't find this. Ingalls Creek. Okay. Ingalls Creek and Valley High area, Washington. Let me see what shows up on my map. Ingalls Creek, Washington Trails. Let me see. That's not what I want. Just want to find out where is this. So from the looks of it, it's way up high inside the mountains, but I want to find a map of the area. Let's see. Okay. Let me see this. Let me open. I found it on a map. Now I'm just trying to get it open. We don't want that, do we? Well, I'm having a hard time finding the damn... There's several of them, and then some of them want you to pay to even get in. I wonder why they posted this late at night. There was a body found, but allegedly it wasn't Decker, but I don't know. That's what Brandy and Indy says. Yeah, I don't know. But it is interesting that they all left, yes. A suspect, he's already crossed into Canada on foot, out in the bush, not all that far away, especially if he's well accustomed to roughing it outdoors. Yes, we've been told by his father that he's gone out into the woods for up to 2.5 months at a time before. Good morning. Yeah, this is just crazy. And you know what? I live here in Washington. It's been in the 90s. It's been super, super hot. And we've got like a giant moon out. So just looking outside, like things are glowing. I'm wondering if they were able, because maybe he's moving around at night, is what I'm thinking. And that's why something got spotted maybe this evening. Yeah, I don't know. I know that all of those planes and stuff searching in that one area and then somebody being life lighted to Wenatchee Hospital is very, very interesting. And then let me see here. I've got this too. This talks about the search being turned over to the feds, which if you guys have been following the case, you might already know this was earlier today. And the governor here in Washington, he put out that order for the National Guard to take over.
Now to that intensifying manhunt tonight for Travis Decker, the Washington State father accused of killing his 3 young daughters. The governor in Washington State now calling in its National Guard to help, and the search is now being handled officially by federal authorities. Now, just since last week, the search has covered hundreds of square miles by air, land, and water. The Chelan County Sheriff saying today, quote, "Our command staff continues to be engaged with the search command while we give our teams time off to rest and recuperate and be ready to rejoin the search for and capture of that suspect." Now, the sheriff's office remains the lead agency right now in the criminal investigation. Those girls, ages 5, 8, and 9 years old, found dead June 2nd near a campground east of Seattle. The sheriff has warned people who live in cabins in those remote areas to keep their doors locked and their outdoor lights on during this intense time. Authorities have described Decker, a military veteran, as an outdoorsman known to go off-grid.
And something else that I heard was that, excuse me, Travis actually tried to get back together with his ex this last week. I have not been able to verify that, but have also found out that this very last visit that he had with the girls was the first time it wasn't a supervised visit. All of the other visits have been supervised up until this last visit. And then we know now on May 26th that, there was stuff connected to his phone having to do with Canada and job searching in Canada. No, you're fine. Was looking at that flight radar that you sent me, Sarah, and it's just so interesting that all the planes left the area. So, I mean, if somebody got life flighted, was it Travis Decker? We know that he is in the area of Ingalls Creek and High Valley. That is where they are looking for him now, if that wasn't him. And let me see. Let me see what this is. I'm just going to continue to look for information while we are here, because it's just mind-blowing. All of this is happening tonight. I even told Sarah yesterday that I thought he was going to be found today. Yeah, and this bloody handprint, one being a male and one not being human, is that his hand? I mean, they're trying to identify everything right now through fingerprints and stuff to find out if it was, Decker's. What if, just a big what if here, because they do believe that he's done all of this, you know, some other person has done this to Decker and his three daughters. Peyton, Evelyn, Olivia, ages 6, 8, and 9 years old. We know now that their death was caused by suffocation, and the manner of death is homicide. That was released today by the coroner's office. It is just absolutely horrible. There is also some information about a former squad member that gave some insight on Travis Decker's past, speaking of him as being very egotistical, very narcissistic. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can pull this up. Yes, his first unsupervised visit, he planned this, in my opinion, right? I just don't get it. I cannot wrap my head around the fact that a father would hurt his three beautiful daughters. So very beautiful. It's so heartbreaking. This is what I found on what his former squad member said about him.
Mon, everyone is anxiously trying to learn more about Travis Decker.
Yeah, so Ali, you've been in contact with somebody who was in the same Army platoon as Travis Decker. So what are they telling you?
Well, they're sharing quite a bit. I can tell you that there's more clarity now as to who he is, his personality these last few years, and some of his recent behavior following this tragedy. Now, the individual who I've been speaking with does want to remain anonymous, but they did share these images of Decker back from 2017 after they were finishing a march in Europe. The two were in the same squad, in the same platoon, in the same company, while they were stationed together in the 503rd Airborne Brigade combat team with the 173rd Airborne in Italy. They tell me Decker was kicked out of Ranger Regiment for failing Ranger School. Now, many of you have been questioning whether or not he was a Ranger. We've all seen some of the same photos of Decker in his uniform with a Ranger patch, but according to my source, he wasn't, because after getting kicked out, that's when Decker was transferred to their platoon, and that's where they shared a little bit more about who he was, just saying that he was a fit but quiet guy, sort of an outcast, yet a hard worker and a bit of a narcissist. They tell me by this time, Decker and Whitney already had their firstborn, Peyton. Decker eventually did warm up to his comrades, sharing that he aspired to be like his father and talked about getting back to Special Forces, but they say he never did. They say it was like Decker had some big shoes to fill. From what they know, his father was a Green Beret and he worshipped him. They did remain friends on social media, but they say that after these murder and kidnapping accusations, well, Decker actually deleted all of his videos and pictures and started unfollowing the majority of those who were in his company. Now, again, the loss of Peyton, Olivia, and Evelyn are hitting his teammates hard. They say that everyone who served with Decker is feeling betrayed and are distraught to learn of what has happened. That's the latest. Back to you.
It's just absolutely heartbreaking. Just absolutely heartbreaking. I cannot even imagine what the mom is going through right now. I can't wrap my head around it at all. Looking to see if I have some more information in here. I'm still looking for a map of that area Let me just come over here. Ingalls Creek is a trail. This is a primary trail in the area within Alpine Lakes Wilderness. It runs for 15.5 miles, gaining 4,400 feet in elevation. Recreational maps. You can find maps on the Ingalls Creek Forest Association. Okay, including... Okay, let me see if I got it. Why do these sites want us to pay for friggin'... That makes no sense. I'm over it. Seriously, paying for these maps because that's dumb. I just want to see something on a map. Come on now. How do I get rid of this? Nope. Bear with me, guys. I really want to find a map of this area. And it's just not wanting to give me. Do I blow this up? Oh, I found something. Here, let me show this with you guys. Let's share this. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see, but we will. If you guys can. So the blue line here on the right-hand side of the screen is the Ingalls Creek. And right up at the very top up here, at the top right-hand corner is Leavenworth. And this is the creek. So, I mean, that's not very far. Can you guys see my hand moving? Let me see. I can look at my screen. Yep. Right up here is Leavenworth. And we know that right up here by Leavenworth, just a few miles or so west of there is where the campground was. The Rock Island campground was where his truck was found, where the girls were later found 75 to 100 yards away from his truck with garbage bags on their heads and their wrists with zip ties. Blood found on the back of the vehicle. Now we know, after testing and evidence, some of that blood is non-human. Some of that blood is a man's blood. But down here, this line, that is the Ingalls Creek. So, he actually went by this map. What we're seeing, you guys, is he did not go up towards Canada. He actually traveled south. And I even mentioned it to Sarah yesterday. Sarah Suspicious. We have been talking about this case for days, but I was actually telling her, like, I'm wondering, with his skills, could he have put in his phone that he was searching to go to Canada, looking to live in Canada, looking for work in Canada, because he wanted law enforcement and everybody to think that that's where he was going as he traveled the opposite direction south. So if they're looking for him in this Ingalls Creek, then he did move south, and maybe that was all just a ruse. Yes, his first unsupervised visit. Already read that one. Yeah, Chris Watts all over again. I mean, it came out today in the coroner's office paperwork that suffocation. That is pretty up close and personal. And let's just discuss one more thing, you guys. This man was in Afghanistan. Afghanistan, you know, their army, what do? They put bags over their prisoners' heads and they zip tie their hands. And that's what he did. That's what Travis Decker did to his girls. I mean, he put them out there to be found. He had his girls out there pretty much on display to be found that way, sending a message. In my personal opinion, this was all done on purpose. If he did try to get back together with his ex-wife prior to seeing his daughters, and she's like, no, that's not happening, then was this to get back at her? I mean, I did just get that one maps. I tried Google's maps. Everything's wanting me to pay. I don't know what's going on. I've looked at a ton of different maps so far, and for whatever reason, I think it's because it's a trailhead. It's just wanting you to pay. Let me just see. I'm going to click on a few things. This is okay. No map there. Let me look through all these. Oh, it just shows the same thing, but we know it's south of Leavenworth. Not in the way that everybody thought he was going after they put out, you know. Let me see if this one gives out one. Hold on one second. I found, but this one isn't wanting to blow up. See full. Maybe I found another map. I can share this one. You might be able to see it a little bit better, but it's definitely south of Leavenworth. This is an open backpack. So right in here between the two pins, Leavenworth is up here north. Wenatchee is over here to the east. And within these two dots is where that Ingalls Creek trailhead is. And if we want to get really in here, it even looks like it's pretty high up. I mean, they're talking 4,400. Yeah, I mean, he's almost right back in the area. Over here is the area where the campground was from Leavenworth. Here we got Leavenworth here, Wenatchee here. Ingalls Creek here, like almost in the center between the two, close to Mount Stewart. That's west of this Ingalls Creek. It's right off of Highway 97 where this Ingalls Creek area is. So it's right next to a freeway. So that's really interesting. Yeah, I'm glad I found that. I mean, yeah, he's like right smack dab in the middle of Leavenworth and Wenatchee, just over to the west of the Freeway 97 here. Or I don't know if this is an interstate or a freeway, but right off of there, that's where they're searching. If that is Travis Decker, I mean, he has not gone far. He traveled south from this area up here next to Leavenworth. Well, let me see. I think it's a little further up. Yeah. Alpine Lakes Wilderness. This was mentioned. So this is the area right off of that interstate. That's what I'm looking at. Like right off of this freeway here is very interesting. So if anybody's out there hitchhiking, do not pick up any hitchhikers, which I am sure they are letting people know not to do it. Very dangerous. Call 911 if you see Travis Decker. At this point, he is responsible for the deaths of his three daughters, Evelyn, Peyton, and Olivia, ages 5, 8, and 9. I don't know why I said 6 earlier. Let me see what Sarah's got sent to me here. Yeah, I had this, but the map is what this shows pictures, Sarah, of like the area there. I mean, if you guys want to see the area and not the map, we can do that. But let me see. Eagle Creek, Washington Association. Let me see if there's more pictures here. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Here is a better map. Thank you, Sarah. Right here in the center where the orange is that map. Let me just... So close here to this US 97 here. This creek right here. And then there's an Ingalls Creek Road, an Ingalls Creek right through here. Some areas are up to 4,400 feet, and then right in this creek bed, it's about 2,000 feet in elevation. What would happen if I zoomed in a little bit more? Eagle Creek Trailhead. Now let's zoom out. Trying to find. Yep, there's Lovingsworth. Here's Wenatchee. Here's Lovingsworth. The campground was in this area somewhere. Actually, I think it was more over here. Right smack dab in the middle and off of this US 97. And here is this Ingalls camp. I feel Decker isn't insane, just evil. You know, Whitney talks about the PTSD, talks about not getting help from veterans, that he was seeking help. The way she's even advocating for him, like, I just don't think she thought he was capable of doing any of this to his daughters, which is just, she's lost her daughters. They were found murdered. And here she is advocating for him, advocating for mental health, for veterans to have more help. And then, of course, we got our justice system who failed here, in my opinion. I mean, he did have supervised visits. They were short visits. He wasn't going to be doing an overnight visit, this unsupervised visits, when he decided to take their lives. Yeah, I agree. Wild Wanderer, thank you for coming in. With his training and outdoor skill, he would stay off the roads. Yeah, I agree. Maybe out there hitchhiking, who knows? I mean, I doubt it with the way people are looking for him. Yeah, the borderline personality disorder, and that's being untreated. She didn't know. Whitney didn't know. That's his ex-wife. Didn't know whether he was taking any medication. Didn't believe, that he had been. Little Miss Sunshine, thank you so much for coming in. It's right where the WSP plane is at right now. This is just crazy. Like, I really hope they found him. I really do. I'm trying to keep looking for some updates. I had a bunch of information that I wanted to share, and then all this stuff happened, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? Yeah, finding him in an area that they think is Decker. Let's just put that information back up. Area of Ingalls Creek and Valley High. Law enforcement is searching for suspect Travis Decker in the area of Ingalls Creek and Valley High, as he is believed to potentially be in this area. Please secure your homes and vehicles, stay alert, and report any suspicious activity to 911. Do not approach him. Anybody that comes into contact with him, do not approach him. He is very, very dangerous. There was even there was another man. It was Whitney's neighbor that also came forward. He spoke about the last conversation that he had with Decker was when he was picking up the girls, and he was acting very confused and just kept asking the guy how he was doing, asking this neighbor of Whitney's how he was doing. And he would repeat things over and over, like he wasn't comprehending what the neighbor and him had been talking about and repeating himself. So I found that to be a little out of the ordinary. He says that he had never, seen him like that. I know that dogs are being used in the search for Decker. There were several different videos of dogs being used in the area, and getting on planes as they are like taking different shifts and stuff because all of the men were like getting tired and everything. So I thought that was really interesting. And then there was maybe I can try to find that. I know that Whitney's attorney spoke with the news. Let's see. I thought I saw. There was a video of it. I found this very interesting what she had to say because she is speaking for Whitney at this time, of course, because I couldn't see a mom out there, you know. Lawyer of mother of 3 girls who police alleged were killed by their dad. Alleged were killed by their dad thinks he died by suicide exclusive. Whitney Decker's attorney tells people that she believes Travis Decker has died by suicide. Authorities are searching for Travis, who is accused by police of killing his 3 daughters, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia. The attorney says Travis struggled with mental health issues, but was a present and active father. Here, let me just share this with you guys as I read. So it looks like the attorney thinks that he could be unalive by suicide here. This is the headlines. Alleged were killed by their dad, thinks he dies of suicide. This is what I've already read. The attorney representing the mother of the 3 girls who police alleged were killed by their father believes he is no longer alive as the manhunt for him goes into the 4th day. Travis Decker, 32, was accused by police of killing Peyton Decker, 9, Evelyn Decker, 8, and Olivia Decker, 5, after they were found dead near the Rock Island campground in Chelan County, Washington on June 2nd. Officials believe the girls most likely died of asphyxiation, which we know suffocation was the cause of death today. According to Wenatchee police, Travis, who picked up the girls for a planned visitation on May 30th, was not at the scene and has been missing ever since. Police said in a statement at the time that Travis was homeless and living in his vehicle or at various hotels, motels at the campground in the area. Military experience. Since the discovery of the girls' bodies, the Chelan County Sheriff's Office, the agency leading the investigation, has been searching nearby counties for Travis and has executed several search warrants around the area and on his electric devices. Everybody cares that Travis is found for peace of mind, if nothing else. Let's see. Although Travis was struggling with his own mental health, he was a good co-parent, always communicating frequently with Whitney up until Friday evening when the girls went missing. She says the attorney notes that Travis, who was an Army veteran, was seeking mental health care, but was unable to obtain it. Travis' declining mental health began to affect his parenting. Was declining. mental health began to affect his parenting, which led Whitney to limit Travis's visitations per September 2024 court filing reviewed by People magazine here. We know he was granted 3 hours of visitation on Friday. He didn't bring him back. There was an endangered missing persons alert for the sisters that went out on Saturday. Last Saturday. Travis is wanted on charges of murder, kidnapping, and custodial interference, police said. Yeah, I don't know why I can't find the one where she is talking. Whitney Decker says that Travis, her ex, is not a cold-blooded killer. She does advocate really hard for him. I think that would be so hard to do when not having your girls. Just so very hard. I know I have a picture somewhere. Let's see. This was his press release. These were pictures that came out of Travis Decker. He has the tattoo on his arms. Do not approach him. He is very, very dangerous. And then, of course, we have his beautiful, lovely daughters. And from the left, it's Evelyn. In the center is Olivia. And at the right is Peyton Decker. So many videos, so many pictures of them had came out. I mean, look at this. I had to use this for my thumbnail because they are just absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous baby girls that just did not deserve this. Mama's innocent. I just can't say good about Decker. He knew not to kill his dog. Yeah, right? His dog's alive. He gets put into, like, the Humane Society. He left his dog alive, but he murdered his 3 beautiful daughters. But he's running and had supplies in his truck. He waited until first unsupervised visit. He knows he did wrong, in my opinion. And that's another thing. They know that he was there at that campground, at that Rock Island campground prior to this visitation with the girls, the day he took their lives. And there's been talk even by the sheriff that he could have gone up there prior to this, put supplies in certain locations to live off of throughout the days that he's now been missing. I mean, this was pretty friggin' planned out. Let me see if I can't find that. Let's see. Let's listen to this from a couple of days ago. Or no, from earlier today, I mean. Prior to them, possibly finding him.
And now to the latest on the search for Travis Decker, the man charged with killing his 3 daughters. The Icicle Creek area near Leavenworth is now back open. Authorities say there's no.
Yeah, after shutting all of that down, they reopened up the majority of that area.
No credible threat in that area, though they are warning people who got out on the trails to be on alert. Decker faces murder charges as police say he killed his 3 young daughters. Court documents suggest he may be attempting to get to Canada. Investigators believe he is traveling along the Pacific Crest Trail. Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia Decker left Wenatchee.
He's definitely not along that Pacific Crest Trail if he's where they think he is, around this Ingalls Creek.
With their father for a scheduled visit. Last Monday, though, investigators found the 3 girls dead near a campground close to Leavenworth. After closing down recreational areas near the campground, the U.S. Forest Service will once again allow overnight permits in the Enchantments area. Several trails are also reopening today for day use. And while trails were closed, Leavenworth businesses felt the impact of the manhunt. They saw fewer customers. Even campers and hikers had to change their plans.
We directed a lot of people towards some of the lakes up along Stevens Pass. And we also told a lot of people to go to the Chihuahua Mountains.
There's a $20,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of Decker. If you see him, do not approach him. You are urged to instead call 911.
Yes, very dangerous man. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that they found him? I'm just maybe go back over that. I want to show you guys in case you're new being in here. Let me just find this. Hold on one second. This is some of the information that I had when I first came in that we were looking at. I will read it again just so you guys can understand what you're seeing here. This is I've got to go find my information to be able to read to you guys. So this is basically, there were 4 planes and 1 chopper doing grid searches. All planes left, the chopper left. Right then, life flight came and landed in an open spot above the Enchanted Pass. It sat for not even 15 minutes. Then I tracked it live to Wenatchee Hospital. The scanner said body recovery after it reached the hospital. That's the only way to explain this. So, and it's, they are saying that other aircrafts that were searching all day left, and then life flight came and left, recovered and rescued a body, and then search aircrafts never returned to that area afterwards. And again, this was in the Enchanted Pass, which is right there near that Ingalls Creek area. And that was around 8 o'clock-ish, 8 to 8:30. And right after the update by the sheriff's office of him possibly being in that area. And this is another flight. Somebody in a Facebook group posted all of this stuff. So that is what you're seeing here. This is off of a Life Flight network. And they followed this Life Flight all the way down to the Wenatchee Hospital. Was it Travis Decker is the question. Do not know. We will find out, though. We will find out. It won't take long, and they'll give more updates. I knew a guy with schizophrenia, started at 18, very smart kid. He would fall apart if an animal was hurt. The dog's blood was on the truck. Don't know if it's the dog's blood. It just says non-human. So was it his dog's? Or did Travis decide to do a little bit of hunting before he took off so that he had food for himself? I also thought about that. Mom is innocent. Could say good things about Decker, yeah. Yeah, possibly. I mean, sometimes they sit on information so that they can contact family first before it goes out on the news, like Decker's family, or even Whitney, who, advocates pretty hard for him as far as mental health and, veterans, and, they want to get a hold and contact family members before putting stuff like that on the news. So I wouldn't be shocked if they waited to do that first. Yeah, I don't like him. I don't like him one bit. Look what he did to his daughters. Look at these beautiful girls. It's just absolutely heart-wrenching. Well, you guys, I just got up here. I wanted to give an update. I got a lot of information sent to me, and I just wanted to go over it, that they are searching for Decker. They're either still searching, or maybe that was a life flight of Decker. We do not know. That was being talked about on Facebook. Community alert area of Ingalls Creek and Valley High. Law enforcement is searching for a suspect, Travis Decker, in the area of Ingalls Creek and Valley High, as he is believed to potentially be in the area. Please secure your homes and vehicles. Stay alert and report any suspicious activity to 911. This is off of State 97. So the Interstate 97, they're between Leavenworth and why am I gonna forget the word now? Now I've got to look. Dang it, sorry guys. It's late and my brain hurts. Wenatchee, that's what it is. So halfway between Wenatchee and Leavenworth, west of there, is where Ingalls Creek in this Valley High area is. And it is close to this Interstate 97. So in that area, stay alert. Please call 911 if you see Travis Decker. He could be traveling at night versus day so that he's not found. The moon is out. So, maybe they'll find him tonight. Maybe they've already found him. Who knows? They have sent out an emergency alert to everyone's phone in that area. Wow. Yeah. Well, that's good to know. Do you know when they did that? Golden Girly, thank you for coming in. Sarah says, remember how hard it was to find that inmate when he escaped, or however you spell it, and Travis is highly trained. I pray he's found by morning. Me too. I really hope that he's found. If that wasn't him, life flighted already. Yeah, I am kind of excited to get up in the morning and find out exactly what they know. I'm glad that that area has sent out Ooh, Golden Girlie says like 40 minutes ago. So maybe that life flight that happened was not Travis Decker, because if they life flighted him to the hospital, why would they be putting out some kind of alert unless he hurt somebody out there? So, yeah, an emergency alert has gone out to everyone in the area of Ingalls Creek and Valley High area, Washington, in Chelan County about 40 minutes ago. So please be on the lookout for Travis Decker. If you see him, do not approach him. He is dangerous. He is an elite Army Ranger. Now somebody is coming forward and actually saying, though, he didn't even pass his Ranger. So we do know that he has skills. He has survived, according to his dad, for up to 2.5 months out in the woods before. Yeah, do not approach him. Call 911 if you see Travis Decker. He is somewhere in Chelan County. The sheriff's office believes right now, Ingalls Creek and Valley High area in Washington State. It's just really crazy to me where he's at, that area. He didn't go north. He went south. I had a suspicion on whether or not he was headed towards Canada, or whether or not that was some kind of ruse, and he was just trying to trick law enforcement and have them chasing their tails, working, looking for him in a different area. Someone posted a picture of the alert on the Facebook pages. This person who was life flighted was in a different area. Thank you, Golden Girlie. I appreciate that so much. Jerry, who had schizophrenia, was so smart and handsome. The disease took him finally around 45. His mother was evil. He was SA'd in a park when a little boy, and he was unsupervised. Oh, that's just horrific, Beverly. That just makes me so sad. I mean, you got to, supervise your children and stuff. You have to just keep an eye on them and watch them. It doesn't even matter, now, 10 years from now, 10 years ago, it's been super hot out. People are outdoors. It was a 0 fee day, Saturday and Sunday at all the parks. Could be a hiker. Very true. Very true. Could have been a hiker that they found. It has been super, super hot. Thank God for AC. And this is just the beginning of June. I mean, all of May, there were several over 70 and 80 degree days up here in Washington. Very strange weather for this area. Usually in May, we're just getting, April and May showers to bring flowers in spring and plant our gardens and stuff. But it's been extremely, extremely hot the last couple of days. But even from the news report that I shared earlier, you see them looking out in areas of snow up there in those mountains. That is because it is still getting very cold at night. There is still snow up on the top of these mountains. Let me just play this last one again for everybody who may not have seen this earlier.
Jurisdictions locally and specifically
that's not what I wanted to do. This one.
Well, authorities are continuing to use helicopters as well as search dogs in their search for Decker, today appearing to search the areas near Skycomish and also near the enchantments.
Everybody's just stunned. This doesn't happen in this area.
As the The manhunt for Travis Decker stretches into another week. The Rock Island campground and surrounding areas, which have been closed during the search, are now back open, though still eerily quiet and much emptier than normal.
So everyone's on heightened alert and wondering if we should really go outside into the backcountry. That's where I usually am.
Locals are keeping.
I'm just saying, if I lived up in that area and I wanted to go hiking, I wouldn't be going hiking up there. You ain't gonna catch me in that wilderness where that man is. That's how dangerous I believe he is. You're not catching me up there in the woods. And me and my husband and my grandkids, we all go hiking. We all go hiking. I would not be up there in the woods up there where he is.
Keeping their eyes out for Travis Decker, who authorities believe murdered his 3 young daughters, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia, sometime Friday after picking them up for a scheduled visit. Autopsy results reveal the girls were suffocated. Decker hasn't been seen in over a week.
It's kind of scary, you know. They must have some idea that he could still be here.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of nerve-wracking.
But authorities have found Decker's dog, which has been turned over to the Humane Society. Items from Decker's truck recovered at the campground are being processed for DNA and fingerprints. Officials say blood samples from the crime scene have come back as male blood. Another sample found was not human blood. Authorities continuing their search for Decker.
I mean, look right here. This is a perfect example of what I was just saying. There are still snow up there in those mountains. Is this the reason why he decided not to go up in the mountains and go down into the lower valleys? Because it's friggin' cold at night. Perfect example, my daughter went camping 2 weekends ago with her 2 youngest babies. And they came back after one night because, you know, the babies, my daughter, and my son-in-law all had to get together in a queen-size blow-up mattress together because they were freezing cold all night long. It got down into the 30s at night. And that was just in Cougar, Washington. It was a little bit high up in elevation, though. They were up close to, like, passing Cougar, going up towards Mount St. Helens. So they were up higher in elevation. I even told her, doll, you're going up so high in elevation, you guys are going to get cold way up there. It still gets pretty cold this time of year. And yeah, they came back after one night up there because they all just got way too cold to be out there camping.
Using resources including air support from surrounding counties and the state.
I have seen what I believe is National Guard out today with a helicopter taking a look around in the enchantments, it looks like, and that's always heartening to see that the search is still on.
And authorities continue to ask residents in the surrounding areas to keep on checking their surveillance cameras for any signs of Decker and, of course, to report it immediately. Reporting.
I always thought he would go south, back to the family's house. My guess, he wants to off his wife and himself so they can all be together. He's not mentally capable of following through to complete plan. And I've been wondering, as far as I know, though, she is being kept safe. She is being watched. Wild Wanderer said, yes, there is snow there. My favorite lake. I almost slid off the cliff last weekend because of unexpected snow. Yeah. True that. It would be easier to track him in the snow, and with his skills, he knows that. Could be why he decided not to go up in the snow. Yep. Yeah, I told Sarah yesterday that I thought this whole Canada thing on his phone was just something that he did on purpose to make law enforcement think he was going up to Canada. My instinct was telling me he decided to go south, and now he's just sitting between Leavenworth and Wenatchee. I mean, he is right there off of that Interstate 97. He is so close to, yeah, like you're saying, Golden Girly, close to the mom's home. So hopefully they find him overnight. Hopefully this moon, this bright, beautiful moon, clear sky, you know, helps find him tonight while they're looking for him, because they've obviously, if they've put out an alert to the phones just a little while ago, they obviously really think that they're hot on his trail. And like many of us have been talking about tonight, moving around at night, especially with as hot as it has been, is not a bad idea to stay warm either. Moving around at night so that he's not found during the day and keeping warm at night, hiking and moving around, it's actually fairly well. I mean, he knows what he's doing out there. Yeah, I'm starting to think he did this to punish her too. Especially, I was not able to verify this, but I did read, and somebody said that he tried to get back together with his ex-wife. This was not on a Facebook group either. This is somebody that posted or not posted, but somebody talking about this, and now I can't find the link to it anymore, to a news person. Everything seems to be going up and then disappearing. It happens with me in the Kyron Horman case. They'll put out like a news clip of something and then you can't find it days later. Yeah, Golden Girlie thinks he's going in that direction. It's just really sad. This is Travis Decker, you guys. If you see him, call 911. These beautiful girls, Evelyn, Olivia, and Peyton, they deserve justice. Their father murdered them, suffocated them. A very intense, very personal thing to do, especially to your daughters. It is sending out Chris Watts vibes, like very, very bad Chris Watts vibes. I mean, to take one's life with the other two, alive? Did he have medication? Did he give them something to kind of put them to sleep? I mean, it's a very personal thing to do that, to suffocate anybody but his own children. How Whitney can advocate for him, I've heard she's just an amazing woman. She's strong and everything else. I'm kind of wondering, I mean, the girls haven't even, they've been dead for a week now. And is she just still in shock? Still wanting to believe that he would never do anything like this? Is that shock gonna wear off? I mean, I just bravo to Whitney for, being the person that she is and advocating for mental health, advocating for the veterans to, look out for their veterans. That's, he was trying to get mental health help through them. In the court system, they got to do better. Oh yeah, Screams, Montgomery, Dorman, Montgomery too. Yeah, this is just awful, you guys. Even a week later, I've been watching information come in. Me and Sarah's been talking about this all week long, and I am just been so distraught by it all. I mean, my granddaughter's name is Evelyn, and my daughter lives up there in this area. She's not only, I think she said maybe an hour away from where all this, so it just really touched home with me. But I'm going to go ahead and get off here. It is after midnight. I just wanted to come on live, share some new information. I am so tired. Yeah, the way they're holding hands. What I really like in this picture is the arm up and her leg kicking. Look at the girls. And you got baby Sissy trying to do what her older Sissy was doing, which was lifting up her leg. And when you look at all their videos and stuff that's been up here lately, the sisters were just so good to one another too. They were very lovely, beautiful young girls and would have grown up to be amazing women just like their mom. And this is devastating. We here at Missing PNW are praying for Whitney and the family, the school, you know, all of the children that went to school with them there in Wenatchee Elementary School. This is just devastating. I mean, from the last time I looked, and now I actually could be wrong, more than $1,700,000 been raised for Whitney, and I'm sure it's even higher than that, probably close to 2 million, if not over it, since the last time I checked the day before yesterday. So I had to watch the videos of the girls. I had to. I just wanted to know them a little bit more. I mean, they're just little angels. I really hope that the mother stays strong, keeps advocating, you know, for veterans to do better with the mental health, with the court systems, to do better. It's so disheartening to think like this just came out of nowhere, you guys. She thought he was taking a 3-hour visit with the daughters, bringing them back. She talked about, you know, I think maybe his phone just might be off or something, or he, you know, or his truck broke down and he can't get a hold of me. And, you know, then she finds out that all 3 of her daughters are gone. I don't even know how she's crawling out of her bed. And yeah, you tried. I'm sorry. I know it's so difficult. It's really hard doing what I do, and I have to like pull back from that emotion to be able to even talk about it, because this really, really is just so horrific to think about these 3 little girls being suffocated by their father with bags over their heads and zip tied, found that way, displayed that way, in such an ugly way, purposely displayed to be found. I feel that way. That's my personal opinion, because I do feel like he did it to get back at the mother, and that was part of that display. Again, you guys, area of Ingalls Creek and Valley High. Law enforcement is searching for the suspect, Travis Decker. Call 911 if you see him in the area of Ingalls Creek and Valley High in Chelan County. He is believed to potentially be in this area. Please secure your homes, your vehicles, stay alert, and report any suspicious activity to 911. Residents and visitors will see a visible increase in law enforcement presence tonight. As a precaution, your safety remains a top priority. If you see something, say something. Yeah, exactly, Beverly. He sent us all a message. And, you know, I feel this is how I really personally feel about it. If they don't find him unalive because he had done something to himself, which I don't think he's going to do right now, it's because he's waiting for that initial contact with law enforcement. And it's just going to be one of those, like a showdown. And then, you know, he'll be unalived by law enforcement. If he ain't got the guts to do it to himself, I believe that when they do find him, that's how it's going to go down. I could be wrong. I'm hoping he gets to spend the rest of his life in prison just because of what he did to his daughters, and he needs to think about what he did to his daughters for the rest of his life, sitting behind bars, going crazy, getting the mental health help that he actually does need. And then while he's completely sober and completely alert and not suffering from his PTSD as bad, know what he did to his children. That's what I wish for Decker, for him to just know in his head what he did and have to deal with that. And if he is suffering from some kind of mental breakdown, which I do not. I mean, I believe there's some kind of a mental health breakdown thing kind of going on, but it just seems too premeditated for me. I think he's got a little bit more thought process into all of this, on top of not being mentally stable, playing a part of it. So that just tells me he kind of knows what he's doing and planning it. And then there's just that final, break or whatever. But I'm going to get off of here, guys. Thank you guys for coming in to Missing PNW. I will be seeing you guys here again soon. I am working in the background on some Michael Vaughn information to release as soon as I possibly can. So I hope you guys all have a good night. Let's pray for these beautiful young ladies tonight and pray that they find Travis Decker, and pray for Whitney, her family, the community, the children in the community. I really appreciate you guys all coming in so late. Have a good night. Thank you, guys.